Major League Soccer Commissioner Don Garber stood on a stage at the Palladium in late August and said the words he hoped to speak into existence for decades. Finally, St. Louis was a Major League Soccer city. Expansion team number 28 is coming to start play in a primarily privately funded downtown stadium in 2022, as long as state politicians get their act together. And with the woman that I'm about to introduce, I know they will. An effort for expansion team had stalled countless times before. It finally has reached the finish line thanks to the efforts of the MLS4TheLou ownership group, which has paired the power of civic pride of the Taylor family and the Kavanaugh families to present the league's first ownership group that is primarily led by women. Whether it is pitching the potential of St. Louis to Don Garber, promising to pick up a hammer and a nail for construction purposes, or steering city and state leaders in the right direction, Carolyn Kindle Betz has carried the drive and the determination that made her so successful in the business world into the sports world. The Cathie Burnes Beebe Award for Excellence in Women's Athletics is established in the name of a woman who, like the MLS4TheLou ownership group, became a force in athletics, period. Men's and women's, it didn't matter. Cathie Burnes Beebe followed her dad, Bob Burnes, the bench warmer, as a sports writer and editor, and became the sports bureau chief for the St. Charles Post. She would be proud to see her name attached to this. It is our honor to present to Carolyn Kindle Betz and the MLS4TheLou ownership group the Cathie Burnes Beebe Award for Excellence in Women's Athletics.
What a year. Did that really happen? Wow.
It did. I have 11 meetings on Monday to remind me that it did. But no, I mean, it's been a fantastic ride. And first of all, thank you, everybody, part of the St. Louis chapter of the Baseball Writers Association, for even considering me for something like this. Certainly this prestigious award. And a very funny, sort of looking through the pamphlet, St. Louis story. In 1995, my 7th and 8th grade PE teacher won Ellen Port. If anybody wants to know why I do not have a soccer career or a field hockey career, she might be a good person to call. But she very politely said maybe I should try a different sport. But hey, I ended up here. I'm happy about it. But it's an honor to receive an award with the people that have received this in the past.
Why MLS? Why did the family put all of its efforts towards MLS?
So it's funny because for years my uncle has always said the Taylors will never own a professional sports team. So lesson learned: be careful what you say. But what it really came down to was my family loves this city, and when looking around at things and opportunities we could do that would take the city to an international level, we just kept coming back to a soccer team. It's an international sport. A lot of the metrics that we see is it's very millennial, and with where we believe the city's going to go with the growing immigrant population, millennial population, we thought what better than to bring a third professional sports team. And I, for one, believe that St. Louis not only deserves it, we want it, but MLS wanted St. Louis too. And so it just, as the stars started to align, it became just a perfect opportunity for my family and the Kavanaugh family as well.
Made this city feel pretty strong, didn't it? Having an MLS team? As a matter of fact, we have a very special surprise to some of you. Some of you may know what we're going to do next, but we're going to complete this interview with a couple of other people. Let's bring in, ladies and gentlemen, more of our professional sports scene here in St. Louis. I'd like to present to the stage the chairman of the St. Louis Cardinals, Bill DeWitt Jr. And the CEO of the St. Louis Blues, Chris Zimmerman.
Hello.
Great to have you all here. And Mr. DeWitt, what does it mean to have another professional sports franchise in downtown St. Louis?
I think it's great. We all know this is a wonderful sports town. Soccer has been huge here growing up. My father used to take me to the college games, St. Louis U, and what it'll do for downtown. and for the whole region is pretty special. So when you think about Busch Stadium and then the Blues and the new soccer stadium, it's really a great thing for the city.
Mr. Zimmerman, you will have quite the neighbor, an MLS stadium not too far away from where you are, right on the other side of Union Station, from that newly renovated Enterprise Center. That's some area of downtown.
Well, yeah, I think if you think about what's happened at Union Station, the work the Cardinals have done on Ballpark Village, the plans for this new stadium, we're going to have a downtown core with these three great facilities. And the energy and the vibrancy that it can help bring our city, I think, is really a critical part of what this opportunity is about.
Carolyn, why the practice facility, training grounds right there downtown as part of all of that? What was the purpose and the meaning to have all of that there?
Well, I think first, it's a very large piece of property, but when we started doing some of our research and visiting different facilities, both here in the U.S. and looking outside, we realized there's nothing like that. We have not been able to find a city that has their main pitch, now that I know what that is, and the training facility right across the street. But we also found out that it's a great recruitment tool for young players. They don't have to travel far distances. But as I think Mr. DeWitt and Mr. Zimmerman have both said, it's just another way to continue to add life and vibrancy. And I think it's important to make sure that at least our area has programming on it more than just the 17 or 20 home games you have a year, but it's during the week, and being able to work with all these teams to create that whole corridor of a new destination. We can redefine it and bring just a whole new atmosphere and life down to that part of the city.
It's amazing what sports can do, Chris, isn't it? I mean, you sent a jolt through St. Louis. You win the Stanley Cup, and it just so happens that the All-Star game is the following year. All-Star Week. This week, you'll have the NHL watching. St. Louis is definitely on the radar of everyone in the hockey world now. I know that makes you very proud. There's a significant impact on this community and this region in the area of hockey now.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it started, some of our momentum started when we were able to partner with the Cardinals when they hosted with us the Winter Classic at Busch Stadium. When I got to St. Louis, people used to say, "What's it like being in a baseball town?" And my response right from the start was, what a great thing to be down the street from one of the most iconic franchises in all of sports, for us to learn and to hold that out. And now I got this ring so that we can start to think about going after number 2. So,
Bill, you have some rings, and you look out at this fan base. Look at them. I mean, connected through generations of Cardinals fans, going way back. What does it mean to you to know, and how does the organization feel that it's a driver to the region year after year after year?
Well, we're really fortunate to have the fan base we have, and it enables us to do the kinds of things to win championships. And, it started long before we came here back 100 years ago. And, you're right, it's generational. Father would or parents take their children to games, and it just keeps going. And fortunately, when we took over, we had that to build on, and we knew if we won that it would continue, and it's been terrific. I think we've been second in attendance to the Dodgers for a number of years, which is pretty incredible. And their ballpark's, of course, a lot bigger, not to mention the size of their city. But for St. Louis to be up well over 3 million every single year is pretty impressive.
So we have the Cardinals, the Blues, and the to be determined, and you're in the club. And it's really great to have all three of you up here, and we are honored to be able to give you this honor tonight at the Baseball Writers' Dinner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.